Hey everybody, it's Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. So if you have a Primavera or a Sprint scooter in North America starting in 2015, they put these handy little reflectors on here. These aren't going to save your life. They're just here to be mandated so they can import the scooter to the United States. It's the same as cars. You have to have a yellow reflector in the front and the rear has a red reflector. So just to homologate the scooter for the North American market, they drill some holes in the fenders and slap these on. But you're looking for the clean European look. Of course, we have the light kits all covered. I've covered that in the past. You can take it to the next level and remove the reflectors and plug the holes, and I'll show you how to do that. So the first thing you're going to need is the specific plugs for the Primavera. So when we remove this reflector, you're going to have 3 holes behind here. Later in this video, you'll see how to remove this. Typically, you want to paint these plugs because they come in black finish. And the easiest way to accomplish that is to buy the Scooter West touch-up paint that's specific to the scooter, such as this Primavera. It's in the Impulse Orange, so A11, TP-A11. We have most of the common colors for Vespa. Again, you could just install the black plugs as well, but certainly looks better painted. If you have a Vespa GTS, we have several factory painted R plugs that we professionally paint with a sprayer and put a clear coat on them. This is essentially like doing nail polish. Pretty easy to do. You want to set up a piece of cardboard. I already did this earlier today, so I let them dry. You know, it takes a couple hours. Inside, you want to probably have them in a warm, dry house. You know, it's probably 70 degrees, so they dry, because there's no hardener that's added to this paint. So you can see I poked holes, 3 holes specifically for these reflector plugs, and I just use a pencil. So a sharp pencil, just poke it through. Of course, there's many other ways to do it. And you put the plug into the hole. You don't want to push it all the way in. You want to have it floating off the surface. And just to give you a hint how this is done, just like a nail polish here. So pretty much essentially a nail polish bottle, and just put a nice even coat across the top. The top of these plugs is textured, and I'd let that dry for about an hour and come back and do one more coat. Especially if it's a bright color on these black plugs, you may have a little bit of the dark show through. If you're doing like something like charcoal gray, you could probably get away with 1 coat. White or some bright color, maybe 2, even 3 coats. And it levels out really, really nice. So nearly the results of a professional paint, you know, and clear coat on these. So once you have your set of 6 plugs for the reflector, we're going to go ahead and remove the existing reflectors from the front fender. Again, these reflectors are only found on the North American market scooters. The European scooters have that nice clean look to them with no reflectors. On the GTSs, they're a very, very popular item to sell the reflector plugs, just because those reflectors are very, very fragile. These ones, there's no way you're breaking that off. They're pretty rugged. They actually did a pretty good job engineering this reflector on the Primavera and Sprint. So before you can easily remove these reflectors, you need to get the wheel out of the way. So best to start with a Scooter West scooter jack, and it's got the rubber pad. Put the scooter on the center stand, just put it right under the front of the frame, and right when you can lift the wheel off. Kind of going to cheat and use a electric impact. If you're using like a hand wrench, you can reach up and hold the brake, so it kind of keeps the wheel solid. And of course, you don't want to use this tool to reinstall the wheel. Probably want to have a torque wrench handy. Make sure it's stable on the jack. Just go ahead and pull the wheel out of the way. So once you have the wheel off, that gives you easy access underneath the fender. But I have even easier access with this separate fender that's separated from a scooter. So you can see they drilled 3 holes. There's an alignment peg, or it's actually a screw right there, and then the 2 pegs that center the or hold the reflector in place. So it's like a plastic chrome. You want to have a good set of diagonal cutters. You can kind of dig this into that rubber, and it's just going to cut. You're going to be able to cut these little one-way kind of springy things out and pull it off. Of course, if you don't have the means to do this, you can certainly just cut the plastic and they'll come off much easier. If you want to save the reflector, this is probably the best means to do it. And again, get in there. I think I cut that one already. So kind of that one just went flying. You have these rubber washers that you remove. All right, so once the clips are cut out of the way, go ahead and remove the reflector. You have the two rubber washers that can stay with the reflector if you want to save it. And you can see a little bit of a stain. This is a brand new scooter, so it looks really, really good. You have this flashing that's left behind on these 3 holes. Take your knife, kind of stabilize the handlebars so nothing moves, and just go all the way around. There's actually a specific tool for deburring a hole, but a pocket knife will do the job. Even a X-Acto blade. Don't slip, of course. So take your painted reflector plugs and just go ahead and push them right in the holes and they'll snap right in place. And you can certainly use a little touch-up paint if you like to, cover up a little bit of the holes if you want, but kind of gives it that clean appearance. Here's a deburring tool in action, a little easier. All right, so job's done. Put your wheel back on, and I'll talk about the rear reflectors. Much easier to remove. They're actually a bracket off the turn signal pod. So all you need to do is trace where the wiring is, disconnect the wiring for the pods on the rear turn signals, and then you can unbolt the turn signals, take the little bracket that holds the reflector on the rear off. Of course, if you do the full European light treatment, most of the time, well, you're removing the pods anyway, so at that point you'd be taking off the reflectors on the rear as well. So might as well just complete the job and plug the holes. Of course, if you want perfection, and you could certainly buy a factory painted fender. They're not going to come with the holes. You can paint a fender and have somebody fill the holes. That's if you're looking for absolute perfection. And it's something we've done here at Vespa Motorsport Scooters. I've had customers, they don't want to see the holes, don't want to see a plug, and we've gone as far as replace a fender. So go ahead and torque these all to about 16 foot-pounds. All right, thanks for watching. Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and scooterwest.com. If it's the first time you see one of my videos, check out the Vespa Motorsport YouTube channel. And there's over 900 videos all about Vespas. See you on the next one.